Hello and welcome. I'm Michelle with Paper Stamp Ink. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to share with you a couple of cards I created using the Best Route Designer Series paper. And this is a follow-up to a previous video where I took some 6x6 sheets of paper and cut them down to make 3 other cards. We had 3 of those 6x6 sheets and we have some scraps. So this is the promised follow-up video that I wanted to share with you on let's not let any of that designer series paper go to waste. So I've got 2 more cards. Let me go ahead and set those aside and let's bring in our paper, Stampin' Ink. So as I said, we have these 3 strips of paper from we cut those 6x6 panels down to 4x6, so that gave me some 2x6 strips of paper that were left over. And then we're going to use the coordinating cardstock colors. I've already prepared our matting pieces so that you don't have to watch me cut those. But those colors we're utilizing are the Mango Melody and the Blueberry Bushel. We're also using Whisper White and then Whisper White Thick for the card base. And then we have a little bit of the gray granite in on the other card. Stampin' Up! Is great about letting us know what solid cardstocks coordinate with the designer series paper. If you missed my previous video, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that there's a designer series paper sale starting on July 1st. If you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Representative, I sure would appreciate the opportunity to earn your business, and you can shop at my channel, www.paperstampink.stampinup.net. Also, if you like the video and you want to get notifications of more videos that I'm putting out, you find them informative, I sure would love to have you tune in. And again, you can subscribe. There's a subscribe button just below this video, and if you tap the bell, then you'll get a notification whenever I upload a new video. So the ink colors we're going to use are going to match with the cardstock colors. We're going to use Blueberry Bushel and Mango Melody for our ink. And then the stamps that I'm going to use are all going to come from the Broadway Birthday set. Now this paper does have a stamp set that coordinates, but I chose today, I like the sentiments from the Broadway Birthday because I am always looking for birthday cards. I don't know about you, but they're one of my go-tos definitely. So one of the cards that we're making today is just going to be a little bit more generic with the Let's Celebrate You. I like that sentiment as well because you can use it for a congratulations, for an achievement, as well as for a birthday. All right, well, let's get started with card number 1. One of the other tools that I am bringing in to use today is a favorite of mine. It's the Classic Label Punch. It's great for popping up sentiments, and there's a set of greetings that, let me grab that, show you guys this. Itty Bitty Greetings. It's actually a 2-case set. There are 32 different greetings in there, so it covers pretty much anything that you're looking for in the way of a greeting, and they're all nice and small, so they'll fit on that, most of them on the Classic Label Punch. If they're 1-liner, they will fit on the Classic Label Punch. The 2 lines may not fit. But they're great for when you just want your designer series paper or your focal image to be the shining star, and you just want to add that sentiment in a corner, or just as a not to take away from the rest of the card. So again, that's another great set that's new this year. All right, so let's start with the Let's Celebrate You card, and I am going to we're going to use 2 of our designer series paper strips, and we're going to leave one of those that's a 2-inch strip together, other than trimming it down slightly, and we're going to add a blue piece of cardstock at the bottom that we're going to stamp up to create our own patterned paper. So let's cut this 2-inch strip down to the 5.5 to match our card base. And we're going to cut the other one down as well. And we're going to decide from here which of those do you want to be the the front panel. I think I kind of like this one in the back and this one in the front. So I'm going to then take this, I'm going to bring this in here so you can see my cutting. I'm going to take this piece and we're going to cut 2 1/2-inch strips that we're going to utilize on another card. So there's 1 and 2. And that leaves us with this 1-inch strip that is going to be layered. Go ahead and layer that on the gray granite. And if you've seen any of my videos, you know that I am a fan of the Tombow Mono Multi glue. I just appreciate the ability that it gives me a little bit of wiggle room. It lasts a long time, so I can get a lot of cards and projects out of it. So it's kind of my go-to for most instances. Let's adhere this one down there as well. If you're planning on doing any homemade gifts for Christmas, it's never too early to get started. I do craft fairs in my local community, and so I'm getting ready to start all of my craft fair projects, and I will be having some videos sharing instructions with you as well on those. Now, I got a little bit off on my trimming, but that's okay. We put that down. We're just going to come in here and trim that little extra strip off. So if you're interested in ideas for gifts, whether for Christmas or any other season, please tune in to my channel in the upcoming months. I'll be sharing a lot of those as I get ready for the season. All right, so I'm going to bring in Blueberry Bushel and just doing a tone-on-tone pattern here on this paper. I thought the solid was just kind of a little boring, and so I'm just going around and I'm twisting and turning. I'm stamping this off the paper, some off the cardstock. That's okay to do that. These ink pads are really, really juicy when you first get them, so be careful. Sometimes I'll, from time to time, come and wipe off my blocks so that I don't get any of that ink where I don't want it, and try and be a little lighter on my touch there. I tend to sometimes get a little heavy-handed, even though I tell my my participants in my classes to watch it. Sometimes I've got to remind myself of that same thing. All right, just keep stamping this here. These 6x6 sheets of paper, the series that I did, I'll link the previous one in the description below. You can mix and match your cardstock or your designer series paper to kind of come up with any theme you want to. So they're great if you're looking to do a lot of cards in a quick time. Think Christmas cards. Get some of that designer series paper that's going to be on special July 1st. If I didn't mention that already, you get 3 packs, and you buy one. When you buy 3 packs, you get 1 pack free of the designer series paper, and that special is going to be running in July. So it's a great time to stock up on your designer series paper. Now, when you're in there, don't forget to check out the clearance rack. You can always add clearance rack items onto your orders as well. If you find that there's a lot of products that you're interested in, please contact me about setting up your own host code, and you can earn Stampin' Rewards as well. So more free stuff. I like free. I don't know about you guys, but I like free stuff, which is part of why I became a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I love the products, and by being a demonstrator, I get a discount all the time and opportunity to earn free products myself. So think about that if you're interested. Let me know. You can email me at paperstampinc@gmail.com, gmail.com, and I'd be happy to share information with you about what it entails to become a demonstrator. There's no long-term commitment. If you decide that you want to sell to others, that's great. If you just want to do it for your own discounts, that's an opportunity as well. And we're going to take the Let's Celebrate You and grab my blueberry bushel, and I'm just going to stamp that right up here. Come in with my classic label punch. Line that sentiment up. There we go. Now you can put that on there flat, but I just used some of the dimensional strips to pop my sentiment up on the card. And there we go. Right down the corner. Very simple card. All right, let's get into the next one. There's a little bit more to do with this one. We are going to actually get out the Big Shot and use one of our embossing folders. So this is actually one of the new thick dynamic impressions folders, and you know, when I first saw them in the catalog, I thought, how am I going to know if it's the right one, which ones are the dynamic ones and which ones aren't? These are much thicker than the normal ones. So when you do utilize these, you're doing your classic sandwich, you do not need the base plate. You're going to just use this top plate and put the embossing folder straight onto the platform. All right, so let's get the Mango Melody out. This is also one of the 6x6 sheets of paper, so if you are embossing folders, so if you like to do larger pieces of paper, maybe you like to do 6x6 cards, or for scrapbooking, these are really nice to have the larger folders. Also gives you the ability to kind of shift that around to some of the heavier, oops, and I didn't change my base platform. I'm gonna put these two up. There we go. Now we're ready to go. Just shifted back in there. Right spot. So you can move this around and get heavier or lighter sequins depending on your preference. There we go. Send that right on through, and there you go. You've got some great dimension on there, and that simple. If you don't have any kind of a die cutting machine, it's definitely a great investment. You get a lot of impact when you use those embossing folders and dies. It's a great way to just add texture to your card and highlight your background. All right, now that we have this together, I'm going to adhere that panel down. This is a 4 by 5 1/4 inch panel. And then we're just going to do some matting. Now I had already cut this other 2 by 6 inch strip down to a 2 by 3 1/2 inch piece of Designer Series paper. Place that on my white, and then put the Whisper White onto the blueberry bushel. Just a double matting. Makes that stand out even more. And then we've got these two strips left over from when we cut that other 2 by 6 piece down. I'm going to cut these strips down to a 1/2 inch by 4 inch instead of a 1/2 inch by 6 inch, so they fit on our card. And we're just going to mat those with some blueberry bushel. And one more strip here. Now this Broadway birthday stamp set does come with a set of coordinating dies for the birthday hat image that we're going to do. So if you have some kind of a die cutting machine, by all means, get those dies, but I know not everybody has those, so you can, this is a very easy one to do some fussy cutting on, and that's what we're going to do today, is we're just going to fussy cut that image out. Get all of our bits and pieces adhered down. Oops. There we go. And I've got a scrap piece here of the Mango Melody. And I'm just going to stamp that birthday hat right on there. And while we've got the ink out, I'm just going to stamp up my It's Your Birthday sentiment. And let's try that one again. I'm getting very inky with these juicy pads. Bring in that classic label punch again to punch that out. Has anybody actually started? I know I mentioned Christmas cards earlier. Wondering who started their Christmas cards already. I haven't, but I'm going to get started here pretty soon. If you've started your cards already, give me a thumbs up and give me a comment down. Let me know down in the comment section how many cards you are planning on doing for Christmas season. One of the communities that I post in where we share information, a lady was saying she's already got all of her Christmas cards done, and I can't remember how many she had. I think a couple hundred of them, and I was like, wow, very impressed. So gonna fussy cut around this. When you do your fussy cutting, just leave a little bit of an edge. You don't have to get all the way right up to the stamped image there. So again, this one's a pretty quick and easy. I am not a very detailed fussy cutter. I know some of you probably really enjoy fussy cutting. I really like my dies generally, I have to say, but you know, again, not everybody has a die cut machine, and not all of the stamps come with dies, so it's good to fussy cut from time to time. And as you may have noticed, if you haven't done fussy cutting before, I am actually turning the paper rather than my scissors. That works much better in cutting. So got one more of those little dimensional strips to put on the back of the birthday hat. Pop that up. And boy, that doesn't want to come off there. There we go. And voila, there we go. Done with that one. And there's our original. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, if you would like to be notified of future videos, please go ahead and give me a hit that subscribe button and tap the bell, and I'd love to see you stop by again. Keep creating.